Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Abhinav Johari from QA Guides. We were discussing on our interview question. So there is one of the important question. What is data-driven framework? Sorry, not network. Okay, and we have to explain in our interview. It is asked multiple times. See, it is asked multiple times. Explain how you use data-driven framework. Okay, so we'll discuss on it. I will create some diagrams that you have to explain in your interview also. Now suppose we have four test cases, test 1, test 2, test 3 and test 4, and we need to run them, and we need to run them in a certain order. Now let's assume that test 1 and test 2 are in suite A and test 3 and test 4 are in suite B. Okay, so I am taking example of test engine. As test engine is very famous in market with Selenium. Okay, so we will have XML files for each and every suite. Okay, so when I will run suite A, in that case test 1 and test 2 will execute. When I will run suite b.xml, okay, XML file, in that case test 3 and test 4 will execute, and both the test files, that is suite A and suite B XML files, will be controlled by the major testng.xml file. Okay, getting? So we will have suite A and suite B both controlled by testng.xml. Okay, now we will have our Excel file. Okay, and what the Excel file will have? Excel file will have run modes. Okay, whether we have to yes or no. Run mode is, remember, yes is yes or no, whether we need to run that test case or not. Okay, what, so this is a Excel file, will hold all the run modes, and we will also have some test data. Okay, if see, if the run mode is yes, then we need to execute that test case, and for executing that test case we should have data also. So data will be there, fine, and the data will also be maintained in our Excel sheet. Okay, so we will have two Excel we will have a Excel sheet which will have run mode as well as test data, and there will be a middle layer. If you remember, we will have a one more middle layer between them, which will get the data and check the run mode. If the run mode is yes, then it will get data, and it will, what it will do else, check the run mode. So it's check run mode. Okay, clear? So we will have some util functions available. Okay, in Java util function will be available which will get the data and check the run mode. Okay, now suppose we have four rows of data, means the test case will execute four times. Okay, so that data will be supplied to our test case through our this util function, which will get the data. First it will check the mode, yes, then it will take the data, it will see how many rows are there. Okay, and that rows will be supplied to our test case, and if we have four rows, then we will have a iteration of four times, means data will be, different data will be supplied it every iteration. Fine, getting the things? So it will be something like this. Data will go here, data will go here, run mode will be checked here, and data will be supplied to every test case. Okay, we can run our test case with the help of Ant or Maven. Okay, and after execution is complete, we can generate our reports. This is how, see, this is how easy it is. This is how actually our data driven framework works. Now multiple times you have been asked, How do you execute hybrid framework? See, we have discussed about data-driven framework. Let's discuss about hybrid framework. See, it is quite related to data-driven, but the difference is that we have a file with the name as keyword. What's the name of the file? It's the name of the file is keyword. Keyword class is there. Okay. So when any test case start executing, it will call the keyword class. See, it will call the keyword class. Fine. So the data and the name of the test case. Remember, data and name of the test case is sent to this keyword class, and this keyword class will read the keywords from keyword.xls file, from which keywords xls file. Okay, so the keywords will be read from this by keyword class. Okay, so every keyword will call keyword class. So there is a function known as keyword execute or execute keyword. See, you remember that in data driven framework, WebDriver is code is written for every test. Okay, we have a WebDriver separate classes. We write util function. We write in WebDriver code in test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Okay, and we also create some base class. Okay, but here the WebDriver code will be written in keyword class. WebDriver code will be written in keyword class. We execute the cases with testng.xml. Okay, only here we use ant and maven here, as well as we also generate at the end reports. See, the next important question is how page object model works. Okay, so let's work on it. So in page object model, we basically have pages, and we create one Java file for each and every page. So we will have a homepage.java, and first of all this homepage.java will have the driver instance in it. A part of it we will have a function that is go to login page. Okay, we will have a function with just a second, we will have a function that is go to login page. This login page function will render us on the login page. We will have a login page class also. Okay, dot java, because we are having home page, we will have a login page. So with the help of home page we will go to login page. Okay, it will also have login WebDriver instance, and okay, and there will be a function known as do login there. Fine, where we will be able to log in on that page. Okay, we will have next, say we have next page, that is inbox. Okay, so there will be file known as inbox.java. Fine, here also we will have the WebDriver instance. Okay, getting me? And say we have a function in it that is logout. Okay, so now suppose, say what is this, say this is our test case. This is our test case. So what we will do, we will first of all create the object of home page. We will create the object of home page. Okay, and as soon as home page object is created, okay, it initializes the driver object, this driver object. Okay, you can give it any name. And with this object, okay, what we will do, we will call the function, this function, go to login page. Okay, getting the things. So go to login page will navigate you to the login page, and it will return the return you back the class of login page. Okay, it will return back as the class of login. Now as soon as we will get the login page, what we will do, we will call the do login function. Okay, what we will call, we will call do login function. Okay, and now what happens, do login function will be called. Okay, and it will return us this do login function. It will return us the object of inbox class. What it will do, it will return us the object of, say, inbox class. What object will come? Okay, we will get the object of inbox class. And always remember, the same driver instance will be shared by all the 3 Java classes, right? And once this logout function is called, okay, it will return us with a home page. It will return us with home page. Okay, so how it is useful? Now suppose we have something common for every page, like we have top menu. Okay, so we will create a top menu.java class, and we will encapsulate this class in all the 3 different classes. So we will, in the constructor, we will initialize the top menu. Okay, and top menu will have the common features for every class. So this is basically some brief description about the frameworks which we can tell in our interviews. Next set of interview questions which we are going to look is of Selenium Grid. First of all, you should all know that with the help of Selenium Grid, you can run your test cases parallelly. Okay. Next interview question is, what are advantages of Selenium Grid? It helps us to execute the things faster. Okay, if we, because see, if we are having thousands of test cases, we can put on different machines and we can execute on them. Okay, so it helps us to execute things faster. Next question is, when do we go for Selenium Grid? So if we, when we want to run our test cases faster, or when we want to run our test cases on different machines and on different operating systems, in that case we can go with Selenium Grid. Next common question is, how is JSON file used in Selenium Grid? See, if you remember, I have discussed there were 3 JSON file I used in my framework, node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay, what it helps us to, first of all, it helps us to fire the commands. We need to initialize the hub, and after that we need to set up the nodes. We have a hub and set up the nodes, and they also provide the configuration of our hub. Okay, we can also provide the information like how many sessions, maximum session, how many browser can be launched. Okay, there is cleanup cycles also. Okay, so there are multiple port number also, and the, if host is there, what is the host number, host information is also there. So we can hold, have, it has multiple information. Okay, we also need to specify the path of our this Selenium server standalone file. Okay, because that is the standalone file helps us in setting up the grid. And remember, we have JSON file for both hub and nodes. Next interview question is, using Selenium Grid we can record the test cases. No, we cannot do recording, okay, with Grid. The most common question which is asked in most of the interviews is how to configure Grid. Okay, for configuring Grid you should have the knowledge of all the JSON files. Okay, let me just show you the JSON file. Let me search where I have created it. Give me 2 minutes. See, here is my project. Okay, testing parallel. You can take my code also. Okay, here you can see I am configuring my grid. I am providing where is my standalone server information. Okay, and which drivers I have to use. Okay, okay, I am using this node 1 and node 2, both are the JSON files, okay, in which all the information which I have told you has been configured. Now there is a scenario based question I am discussing. See, if there is a web page having multiple products, okay, uh, and there are some elements which are sorry, that products, some products are available and some are not available. Okay, plus for available ones we have a add button, and for not available ones we have a grade. They are gray in color. So how can we add the first element? So what we have to do, we need to find the property. So here we need to find elements on the basis of common property. Okay, fine. So if you have any more interview questions, you can send it to me. I have explained you many interview questions. Okay, you can WhatsApp me on 919414054312. Okay, if you have any inquiries related to software testing, if you want your Selenium work, JMeter work to be done, any type of things you are looking, okay, to freelance, you can call us. Fine. Thanks a lot.